Jai Shri Ram. Manu says that the definition of meat is as simple as this: He whose flesh I eat in this life shall eat my flesh in the next life. This is the essential attribute of flesh according to its etymological significance as declared by the wise. Mamsa bhakshayita amutra yasya mamsam ihad aham etan mamsasya mamsatvam pravadanti manishinaha. Now, there are so many interpolations in Manusmriti. Swamamsam paramamsena yo vardhayitum ichhati anabhyarcha pitrun devans tato anyo na astya apunyakrut. That means one who eats meat other than for shrad or for offering to devas, if somebody is eating meat with the intention of augmenting his meat, other than for offering it in Shrad or for Devas, he is the greatest of all papi, sinners. Now you see the contradiction straight away. If you are not supposed to eat it, then why should the Pitrus have eaten it in the first place, and why are they hankering for meat now? And why should you now incur the sin of killing an animal and then offering to them, who will then actually end up sinning more? So this is clearly an interpolation. And in other places, Manu says things which are very, very similar. Okay. And then next you see, na mamsa bhakshane dosho na madhye na maidhune pravrittiresham bhutanam nivrittistu mahaphala. Here Manu is saying there is nothing wrong in eating meat, nothing wrong in drinking alcohol, and nothing wrong in having indiscriminate sex. This is the natural inclination of all created beings, which means animals and humans. But giving it up will eat greater fruits. Now, can you see how brazenly some rascal has interpolated this? This is prakshiptam. Okay. So please be careful. And elsewhere, Manu also says that you see, what does he say? Na krutva praninam himsam mamsam utpadyate kvachit nacha pranivadaha swargas tasman mamsam vivarjayet. Flesh cannot be obtained without killing a beast, animal, and animal killing does not lead to heaven. Therefore, you must give up eating meat. Now, here he is saying animal killing does not lead to heaven, and then in the next shloka, he says you should offer it to your pitrus or gods. Why should you offer it to the gods when it won't take you to heaven? See the contradiction? So, this is the problem. These Christian apologists and Muslim apologists and European historians and so called these rascals, historians and Indologists, Western Indologists, they have been working laboriously to introduce all kinds of interpolations, which is what we call atrocity literature. In Hindi, prakshiptam, right? So in Ramayana also, in Bhagavad Gita also, Mahabharata also, even in Swami Dayananda's Satyartha Prakash also, there are interpolations. So unless you are very alert and vigilant, you will not be able to spot the interpolations, and you will be mistaken, and you will be thinking that maybe our Shastras were allowing meat eating. Not at all. The Veda is completely opposed to all meat eating. So you see, and then samutpattincha mamsasya vadavandhau cha dehinam prasamiksha nivartet sarvamamsasya bhakshanat. Manu is saying that after all, meat or flesh is nothing but the transformed menstrual blood of that animal. So Manu is actually trying to stimulate, create a sense of jugupsa in you. That means you should feel a revulsion. After all, it's almost, would anybody drink some female's menstrual blood? If it is solidified, it becomes meat. So Manu is trying to create a sense of revulsion. He is using such strong words that meat should not be eaten. And if the same Manu is then somewhere else saying, no, you should offer it to your gods, what kind of nonsense is that? I am reading it again. Listen. Samutpattincha mamsasya vadavandhau cha dehinam prasamiksha nivartit sarvamamsasya bhakshanat. So Manu is saying, please consider the origin of flesh, which is nothing but a kind of transformed menstrual blood, and the animal suffers pangs of death and incarceration. So you will incur lot of papam. Therefore, give up eating all kinds of meat. Whether this meat is approved or prohibited, don't eat it. So this is what Manu in several places is saying. So you can easily sift, you can winnow the chaff from the kernel. Chaff, chaff, chaff ante pottu, useless matter. Kernel ante ginja, vittanam. So you don't have to be a great scholar to understand these interpolations. How clumsy are these interpolations? Some rascal with the intention of misleading the poor Hindu, the gullible Hindu. Now many Hindus are eating meat and they are incurring papam. And the only way to get over it is today you stop eating it and then take care of animals. Prayaschittam is important. See, there's nothing we can do about the past. That means you have committed a crime in the past and therefore the punishment is due. But the higher law, Krishna's law, is slightly different from the law here. So there is scope for reduction of the punishment sentence if you can make amends, expiatory rituals. How? Start tending animals, start caring for animals, and then perhaps the punishment can be reduced. The punishment can be completely wiped out actually if you become a totally dedicated follower of Krishna. That means sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. So once you become Krishna's prapanna, then Krishna becomes your ex-promiser. He will take care of all your debts and you have literally pulled the plug, and all the sanchita karma and agami karma, everything, kriyamana, right now what you are doing, everything will be burnt up. The prarabdha will last for some time. Jai Shri Ram. Stop eating meat. Jai Shri Ram.